it doesn't give us the pass that we can just skirt the issue. I mean, it's something that we've talked about it a few times, right? Mental toughness issue. I don't know. You know, snow's coming. It's a Tuesday night, and there's a hell of a crowd out there to watch us play, and we come out like that on the first shift and get scored on again. And it's a mental toughness thing. If you watch the shift, it was a poor work ethic shift, and we weren't ready. And so, yeah, we are going to work on it. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do. They'll find out, but we're going to work at it. And honestly, it's the most important thing we can do right now. That's happened a number of times. I think off the last 8, 9 games, I guarantee at least about the last 9 games, I guarantee 9, 10 games, 8 of them we fell behind. So we'll work at it.
Coach, Glenn's goal in the second period to tie the game purely off of the board battle. Can you evaluate your team's performance along the boards?
Well, if you look at it in the first shift, it was absolutely terrible. I have to give credit. If you look at, yes, the second period we scored, we were pretty good. The third period, I think the shots were 21-1, something like that. I mean, they played, they panicked, not panicked, they refocused and started to play, and that was a big factor is how they played on the wall. Brooks, Glenn, Kirch had a great job on the wall, and that's what resulted in the goal. So after that, I thought their play was excellent, but you just can't. The hockey gods will never let you get away with that. They just won't. If you're just totally undisciplined or you are not prepared to play, you can't just turn it on later. Like I've seen it 100 times where you do something that just piss off the hockey gods, and you come back and do your best, but at the end, they're going to get you. And that's what happened. It's a mental toughness issue. We weren't ready to play, and we have to figure it out.
To kind of go off of that, I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you left the bench in the first period before the period was done the whole way. Even if you win this game, you look back on it, there's a lot of things that we need to do better. What do you tell the guys in between periods in the game?
Okay, the reason I left the bench is I was just extremely disappointed that we came out that way. It's happened. I don't know why. We have a real tendency to be as focused at the start of the game as determined on how we feel our opponent is going to be. Not, we're going to dictate the game regardless, whether we're playing a midget team in an exhibition game or we're playing Ohio State at Console Arena. It doesn't matter. And I was very disappointed at the way we came out. And getting scored on in the first shift is a very good indication that we weren't ready to go. And also the way it happened. Look, it wasn't just a fluke goal. You might say their second goal was, but at that point, like I said, the hockey gods are going to figure a way to get you. That's why I was very disappointed with the game. And we have to grow up. We do. We're a whole team of young guys, of freshmen right now. We have to grow up. It's not going to be a lot of fun if we don't learn how to be prepared to compete and have results at the start of the game. So that's what it's about. It's not a number of issues. It's one issue. And we've talked about it a few times. So we have to, she asked the question earlier, what are we going to do to correct it? Well, we're going to try a number of things to correct it.
What was the reaction by the guys during the break between first period and overtime after getting so many shots and not scoring?
I think everybody wanted to go win. The reaction, is businesslike. It was businesslike. I think they really felt that if they didn't win the game, that they failed, and it was a businesslike reaction.
You mentioned you wouldn't say what you're going to do to make these changes, but any estimation on how long these changes might take and how long it takes for these guys to get
No, I don't know. But honestly, it's if you look at the maturation of teams, I'm talking over years, not necessarily just a season, that all of a sudden teams that mature win. It's not necessarily, there's an aspect to they get better, there's an aspect to you adjust to the speed of Division I hockey, there's an aspect to you work out extremely hard, but there's also an aspect to that just you develop mental toughness, because to come out and play, a lot of these guys are coming from junior hockey where they're playing 60 plus games a year, and the intensity might not be just flying every single night. Sometimes they're going to play 3 games in a week or a weekend even, and it's tough to maintain that intensity. In college hockey, you play two games a week, and they're flying. You're playing 34 games a year before you go into the playoffs. Like every game is intense, and you learn mental toughness and how to deal with that. And so it's a maturation process. I can't tell you how long, but I know we're in it. I can promise you we're in it. And everybody talks about like successive athletes, whether it's in a team or individuals, and they always talk about skills and things that you can quantify, how fast, how strong, how high. But really, if you look at the success of it, it's often here. It's who can perform at the highest level the most consistently, and that's where we're at. I promise you, it's where we're at. So it's going to take process. I don't know. I hope sooner than later, because I tell you what, with no disrespect to any of the teams we played this year, they're going to get a heck of a lot harder. And if you're not ready to play, it's not like you're down 1-0 after one. It's like you're down 4-0. So we have to figure it out in a hurry.
A couple more questions.
Coach, that identity line that we talked about this past weekend, you were very encouraged with their play in the U.S. series. What about tonight?
You jinxed me. That's what happened. Look, they started the game and gave up another goal 20 seconds in. They're not proud of it. They know it. I'm not happy with it.
Do you think that dictated the team's performance? Because you do seem to talk a lot about how this line really epitomizes how the team's going to play.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Did you see a spark in mental toughness over the weekend when you had that 5-2 comeback win against USA after you trailed after the first period?
Yeah, but again, we didn't. Yes, I think, but at times it's easier to come back when the other team might be feeling comfortable than it is to dictate play at the start of the game. And we really have trouble with that. Like we really are lacking like a leadership that this line, like we're setting the tone and we're going. We don't have that right now, and we're starved for it, and we need it. And so, is there mental toughness coming back when you fall behind? There is, but sometimes in that situation you're playing an opponent that you know is great. You really have nothing to lose, and I think at times it's easier. But there's another aspect to mental toughness coming in. Everybody knows we're expected to do well this game, and I was looking forward to it because they beat us 6-3 before. And it doesn't matter, shots whatever, 46, I mean, it doesn't matter. We wanted results, and that's pressure, and that's mental toughness to be able to, at the start of the game, dictate how this is going to go, and we didn't. So, yes, it showed mental toughness against USA. Absolutely, we proved that we aren't there yet.
Like one more, Rob.
Put another positive spin on this. Would you like the students to sing the national anthem again?
We might have to make that a tradition. That's a really good question. For those people that watch this on